Good morning, my love. Happy Monday. It is 6 a.m. here at the lake. Another beautiful day. Temps under 100, so I am thrilled. I'm automatically in a good mood just because of that. We are talking about negative people, people who automatically assume worst case scenarios. Is that you? Are you a negative Nellie, a negative Nancy? Or do you have more of an optimistic outlook? Because whatever you look for, if you look for the negative, you're going to find the negative. If you look for the positive, you're going to find the positive. What do you look for? What do you assume? Do you assume every meeting you go into, you're going to have somebody jumping down your throat? Somebody's going to be mad. Because what if that's not the case? But I have seen this so many times. There's a meeting, maybe a staff meeting, and everybody goes into the conference room and sits down. You're not sure what it is, but there are people there that are automatically mad. They're mad because they're taken away from whatever they're doing. They're mad because they're afraid there's going to be finger pointing. They're mad because they're going to be caught, that they're not getting their work done or they're passing their work off to other people. And they're just negative, no matter what. They slam their coffee cup down. Great. Why be negative? Why assume the worst? It might be something really nice. This is back in the St. Louis days, and I had been in a meeting, and the partners of the firm announced something really, really great for all the employees. And it was just like, wow, that is really wonderful. Thank you. But the negative people were still mad because they choose to be. They choose to find the negative. It's their choice. I deal with negative people all the time. They want me to help them work through their traumas, and I'm happy to do so. But maybe that's their comfort zone. Being negative, being miserable has become their comfort zone. I have seen that a lot. To the point they will start becoming optimistic, and they will leave a toxic, violent relationship and eventually get into a positive relationship, and they're actually happy, and that becomes uncomfortable for them, so they will self-sabotage the good so that they can be unhappy again, because that's their comfort zone. That is very, very common. I have friends that are like that no matter what, they choose the negative. They can't be happy for you because they're not happy with themselves. Now, negative people attract other negative people, and those negative people attract negative scenarios and negative outcomes. Positive people attract other positive people, positive situations, and more positive outcomes. Two people go into a meeting, one negative, one more positive, one more optimistic. Same meeting, and they come out of the meeting and you ask them, what did you take away from the meeting? One is going to give you a negative review and the other one's going to give you a positive review because of their perspective. One's a negative person and one isn't. The choice is yours. If you're going into, I'll say something horrible, the dentist, which is just very frightening for me. If you have a dental appointment, you have a root canal or something, nothing to look forward to. But if you go in thinking, okay, this is going to take care of the situation. When I walk out, I'm going to be a little uncomfortable, but it'll be resolved. This is worth it. You're going to have a good outcome. If you go into that thinking, this is going to hurt like the devil, I'm going to be miserable for the next 48 hours, you're going to walk out of there more miserable than the other person. It's up to you. Totally up to you. But just look at your life and look at your perspectives. Look at what you're teaching your kids. It's a learned behavior. My parents were very negative people. My mom, I would come in the door and say, I got my test back. Oh, great. I was an A student consistently. There was never an issue. But she just assumed because that was her. My dad, everybody loved Daddy. Daddy was a treasure, but Daddy was a pessimist. No matter what, it was, Bryn, you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to buy that car? You sure you want to date that feller? That was Daddy. Always negative. I have friends that are always negative. No matter what. I was in St. Louis, and I had lived in a really nice condo in one area, and it was I don't want to say, it was probably 30 minutes from where I worked. And a friend of mine came to visit one day, and he said, if this was any further out, I'd have to pack a lunch. It's not that far, and it's really nice. Well, I don't think it's that great. I mean, look how far you have to drive every day. Yeah, but I get to look out my window, and there was a little bit of woods back there, and I got to see deer, and there were squirrels. My cats loved it. You know, they could sit on the patio and watch the deer. It was nice. Nah. So eventually, probably a year or so later, I moved closer to a luxury apartment that was just, I miss that apartment. I mean, it had every amenity under the sun. I miss that apartment. And he came to visit. I said, well, it's closer. Yeah, but, it's noisy. It is. But, I have this amenity and that amenity, and I really like it. And yeah, but look what you're paying. No matter what, they're going to find the negative. That's just them. No matter what. There are negative people in the world. So what is your perspective? My dad's family, they were pessimists. For the most part, they were pessimists. Yeah, but I don't know. Now, Bryn, I'm not sure. I'm not that way. Obviously, I'm not that way. I have relatives that are. Absolutely. They're not part of my life because I'm not a negative person. Negative people attract negative people. Positive people attract positive people. I don't need negative people in my life. I don't need drama in my life. I'm a happy person. Look at your life. Look at what you're teaching your kids. My son is an optimist. His wife, same way. My granddaughter, same way. When she is going into a test, she was going for the volleyball team, making the volleyball team. And yes, she was nervous. She was a 7th grader going out, and she's been playing for 2 years, but some really good girls on that team. There were 46 trying out. Only 16 were going to make it. She had confidence in herself. She wasn't arrogant or overconfident, but she knew she had what it took. She made the team. I'm so proud of her. She just has a good attitude. She's not a pessimist. Now, if you go into that with, well, I don't know, they're probably not going to pick me, you're not going to play as well. She has a great attitude. She's a great kid. So look at your attitude. Look at what you're teaching your kids. Teach them to be optimistic, to be realistic. Not every kid's going to, just because they like to play basketball, not every kid's going to be Dr. J or Wilt Chamberlain. But if they have talent, you never know. But it's okay to hope. It's okay to have dreams. It's okay to be optimistic. Allow yourself to dream. Allow your kids to dream. Allow yourself to be optimistic. Because, sweetheart, you're worthy.